Welcome back to Lombardi Sweep. It is finally week 1 of the NFL season. The Packers are going to be playing the Minnesota Vikings at 3 p.m. for some reason, not the noontime slot on Sunday. Trevor Land is looking interested in the bottom. Luke Reimer wearing a gray shirt on the top right. And Janet Wilson is peeved because someone's terrible parent scolded her. I am merely Zach Bruner. Janet, is there anything you want to say to Luke? Are you? Is that you or is that Janet?
That was me.
Janet.
There's an earthquake in Texas.
Get everything off your chest.
It's Puma. He's upset too. He started
Earthquake. Oh. Right,
he started hitting this and like the mic fell. He's mad too. He's like, "Who's yelling at my mother?" I just don't understand. I don't know. I'm just.
Michael Jordan put it best. Fuck them kids.
Mm-hmm.
No. I don't know. Why do parents attack the teacher? Like, why don't they attack their own kid for being rude and ugly?
Because the kid was covered in pee. You don't want to attack someone covered in pee.
That's a business decision.
I guess I will always be wrong. Oh well.
You should have peed yourself. And then the parent wouldn't have known what to do.
Ooh, establish dominance.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mark your territory. That's your classroom. You let them know what's what. We'll get back to that later in the show, I'm sure. But the Packers are playing the Minnesota Vikings week 1. The Packers currently are 1.5-point favorites on the road. 47.5 is the projected total. Like I said, it's a 325 game. Apparently, this is only the second time the Packers have ever played in Minnesota in week 1. Obviously, the first time was during that COVID year. It was a super high-scoring game.
Ever?
I guess. Yeah. Well, why the fuck are we doing divisional games week 1? Why have we started saying this is what we should be doing?
Week 1 is when like the Packers should go out and like play the Dolphins or something.
Yeah.
Well, it's so dumb too because the Ravens are playing the Jets, so clearly this isn't across the board.
It's like they just put everything in a fishbowl and like started to like, yeah.
That's also how they got Deshaun Watson's initial suspension, ironically.
Like the fishbowl, they just folded up little pieces of paper and put them in there and had somebody pick them out.
But yeah, it makes no sense when everyone knows the division is going to come down to the Packers and Vikings. I'm not sure why you would start the season with this matchup, but it'll certainly get views. So whatever, I guess. And we know there has to be a Lambeau game later in the year between the two, and it could be possibly snowing, so they have to get this out of the way.
But that too, like the Christmas game is like in Florida this year, which is kind of lame. The whole reason why like most people like watching Christmas games like on snowy areas, it's dumb.
It would make sense.
You didn't even try to see me during the Christmas game last year.
Stop.
I drove. You didn't even try to see me, so don't start this game.
I drove 20 hours. The least y'all could have
drove 5 more minutes.
You could have walked across the parking lot.
It's a big parking lot.
I'm with Luke on this one. Janet gave me the wrong date, so I'm with Luke.
Okay, no, but my family changed it on me. I didn't want to just spring it on you that morning. They changed it.
I will tell my mom on you, Janet, and she will be after you too.
I actually did get lost after the game looking for my brother, and I ended up circling the entire Lambeau field to look for my brother and my sister. You could have met up with me then.
That would have been a bad idea.
At least
for everyone's
Luke is
safety.
Aware.
Yes. Okay, well, speaking of Packers, let's talk about the Packers injury report here, which is concerning, to put it lightly. So this is just the practice report from Wednesday. David Bakhtiari, limited participant. Sounds like he's going to be playing week 1. Everyone's surprised but us. We've been saying this for a while. We've been giving you the medical report. We've been giving you the surgeries of David Bakhtiari. Feel good about him being back. I'm just going to go in order of what this is. Mason Crosby, full participant. He should be good to go. Tipa Galley, full participant, good to go. Jake Hansen, unfortunately, was a full participant. Elton Jenkins, limited. I think there's a decent chance Elton Jenkins actually doesn't play this week, so don't worry. We may have Royce Newman trying to block Zadarius Smith. What could go wrong? Alan Lazard didn't practice. He was apparently stepped on in practice, who I can only assume was Royce Newman on a screen. We had Dallin Leavitt, full participant. Yash Nijman, full participant. Darnell Savage is limited with a hamstring. Robert Tonyan is limited with his knee. Christian Watson is limited, or was a full participant, so he should actually be good to go. But I think the biggest concerns are obviously, sounds like Alan Lazard. It sounds like a decent chance he misses the game already, so way to go. And Elton Jenkins, I highly doubt they rush him back if he's feeling any sort of way to go against a pretty good defensive line. That seems like a bad decision. So I open it up. I can start with you, Luke. Like, what's your overall thoughts? How are you feeling heading into this game, knowing the practice report from Wednesday here?
I don't feel great. It never feels great to enter week one with injuries to guys that you need to have on the field to win games. I don't know. Just going back to, the Vikings will give the Packers a matchup. They always do. I guess it'll come down to, and I guess something that we're all really interested to see, if Alan Lazard doesn't play, here's the Romeo Dubes opportunity. Here's a Sammy Watkins opportunity. Like, if we're taking Alan Lazard out, we're taking almost 80, like almost how many ever target share that was last year?
Yeah.
This offense is going to be out of sync. That's my answer. This offense will be out of sync. I would imagine a lot of the game plan relies on Aaron Jones this week.
And the regular storylines of Aaron Rodgers didn't play preseason, that's why they suck, is going to surround the team. My question is, how badly do you have to get stepped on to miss a game? I understand they're probably wearing cleats, but I don't know if I can speak for you, Zach. I've been stepped on by some pretty large individuals in soccer, and I'm only as big as Isaiah McDuffie, and I was going to go like 2 days later. It seems a little concerning to me how he's out for that long. But to Luke's point, like, if Lazard isn't there, we're going to need like a prime Sammy Watkins, where the hell was this the last 7 years of his career type game. And that's a dangerous thing to be asking for.
Between Devontae Adams and Alan Lazard being gone possibly for week one, obviously Adams gone. That's 40% of the target share from last year. That's not counting Marquez Valdes-Scantling. That's not counting possibly Robert Tonyan, Equanimeous St. Brown, who actually was kind of a significant target share. So I think we can assume about 60 to 70% of the target share from last year is going to be gone, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
What could go wrong? I think luckily everyone is discounting who Sammy Watkins is. Sammy Watkins is the number one receiver. He's going to be okay. It's not going to be a rookie who steps up this week. The Packers are going to be fine. Sammy Watkins is still that dude when he's healthy, and he's never going to be healthier this season, than this week. Like, maybe when Alan Lazard comes back, that's when Sammy Watkins is out hurt, but I think you're, Trevor, stop with the cleat thing. Like, you got stepped on by who? What fifth grader stepped on you? It's different.
Hey, it was only like a month ago. Big ass dude, just compared to me.
Okay, wait a minute. I dropped a 45-pound weight on my foot, and I'm pretty sure it was fractured. But I was good to go into a workout the next day. So
yeah, Lazard, you're getting beat out by a fourth grade teacher. Get your shit on straight, man. And a rec soccer player. What's wrong with you?
No comment. Trevor or Janet, any other thoughts about the injuries? What's your overall level of concern, I guess, in terms of the offensive line, in terms of the wide receivers, which I guess are the two biggest impacts from these injuries right now?
I think we'll be okay, but I always treat the first game like a marriage. The first one is okay to throw away. Like, the first game is fine.
No, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, worst scenario, like I'm not gonna be too worried about us losing the first game into the Vikings. They can brag all they want.
I'm not. Yeah, the only issue is like this is a big game, man. Like in terms of, we talked about the Packers' schedule. Obviously, they don't have a break until week 14. Like they're not off again until December. They go to London in between then and now. They have a stretch where they have 5 of 7 weeks on the road. Losing this game kind of sucks. Like, I assume, well, we'll get into our predictions. Like, let's just assume the Packers lose this game, right? Week 17 versus the Vikings at home is probably for the division.
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem like how it's going to play out?
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, can't wait. In terms of the Vikings practice report, only one player was limited. It was Jonathan Bullard, a defensive lineman. Who is that? No one knows. Does not matter. Vikings are healthy, and that's not necessarily a good thing. In terms of other Packers news over the past week, there really hasn't been much. Probably the biggest news is that they've made a partnership with Duluth Trading Company, which, you know, I'm kind of jacked about. That's kind of cool. Love Duluth Trading Company. But otherwise, like, nothing else is happening, man. Like, the Packers are hurt already. We already talked about, we've gone on weeks and weeks and shows talking about the Packers have zero depth, and it's already showing. Let's really hope Darnell Savage isn't like legitimately hurt with a hamstring injury, because that throws a wrench into a secondary that has zero depth. You know, like, it's, things could unravel very quickly. And like I said, there's no recovery time. We're not off again until December. So let's have fun. Here we go. That's my thoughts. Like, anybody, like, I don't know. What's your takeaways from this? I have no idea.
I'm gonna be honest just about this Vikings game in general. I do not have a lot of hope.
No.
I don't know why. Like, the Packers are a good football team, but if we can't field a receiver who hasn't played with us yet, how are we going to throw the ball?
This, for me, has shades of the last playoff game against the 49ers. Not any, like, one-to-one comparison, but just I don't feel confident at all. Like the overwhelming feeling is that they're going to lose this game. I mean, the Packers lost to them last year at Minnesota as well, and I think they had a more complete, at least more healthy roster at that time too. So yeah, I don't have a lot of faith. Plus, that's the 1 week a year where Vikings fans actually have hope for their team, so they'll be ready to rock.
I will play devil's advocate now. Packers obviously have a really limited receiving core. I think Sammy Watkins is legit, but otherwise there's question marks everywhere. I think Randall Cobb is perfect.
Is that me?
Fine again. What is? Am I here now?
Losing you.
Zach, we missed everything that you just said.
Am I here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was mostly me saying, "Is everyone here?" Because it was glitching really weird. It wasn't like it usually is. To play devil's advocate, obviously Packers have Sammy Watkins, who's good. Randall Cobb is healthy, so he's fine. Vikings secondary, we're talking Patrick Peterson's their number one cornerback. They got Cameron Dantzler, Chandon Sullivan, and then Andrew Booth Jr. Like, those are their 4 cornerbacks. So, one, it's not like we're in a massive mismatch there. And 2, like, when Romeo Doubs or Christian Watson makes a big play downfield, 30, 35 yards, has a big catch, I want everyone to remember who's across the football. Like, an 80-yard go route touchdown is less impressive when everyone finds out I was the cornerback on the play, right? Like, let's remember, every Packer fan talks shit about the Vikings secondary. So let's just keep that in mind when we're talking shit about how great our rookie wide receiver looks this week, because we're not going to be tested yet. The test officially starts. Who do we play week 2? The Bears. Okay. Test officially starts week 3 at Tampa when we get killed then, you know? So we should be fine. And Randy, thank God Randy's here. A couple questions here. Janet, you need to be answering that. First off, Janet, what's your thoughts on cheesecake?
Okay.
There's only one acceptable answer, and I'm pissed Randy brought this up. This ruined my night.
Favorite cheesecake?
Well, what's your thoughts on cheesecake? Do you like cheesecake?
Of course I do.
Yeah, Trevor does not.
Of course, garbage.
Also, before you answer, Trevor has never had bagels with cream cheese on them. Right?
Why would you put anything but jam or jelly on?
I don't know, because we're fucking smart. Like, what are you doing here?
Y'all want to know something really funny?
Man. Don't at me. Orange marmalade slaps.
Really funny.
Okay,
though?
how old are you? Orange marmalade slaps.
Here for it. I don't need any of you. I don't give a damn. Randy's here for it.
Randy, do you agree with Trevor?
When I went to Wisconsin, I bought like 30 jars of like preservatives and jams, and I still have them in my pantry, and I'm going back to Wisconsin.
Bring them to me. I'll eat them all.
I haven't been able to eat any of them.
No, Janet doesn't go and find people.
Stop. Well, we need to. I'll go pick you guys up in my new Bronco.
What is your favorite cheesecake though?
I'm a garbage disposal. I pretty much eat everything and anything.
See, cheesecake out the window.
So
she's garbage disposal. It doesn't count if she eats anything.
She said, "Of course, she loves cheesecake because you're the outlier."
I don't think so.
I like that, but I do like the one with the strawberries on top. That was pretty good. Strawberry jam, strawberry preservative.
Okay.
Randy's where we lost her there, but
my dog also like burst through the door during that entire charade too because he heard cheesecake because he likes cheesecake.
Who doesn't?
Oh,
exactly.
It's a dog. Okay, it likes dry kibble. I'm not allowed to hear it from a dog. If you get a fancy feast, you would eat that too. So I don't want to hear it.
Says favorite football food too.
Yeah. What's your favorite football food? Mine, I think, is beer.
Oh, it's a main important food group.
I don't think you can go wrong though. I don't think there's like a non-football food other than like, paninis
cheesecake.
Maybe.
Cheesecake.
Yeah, it's not football food, I guess.
My football food would be pizza.
I like barbecue.
We're gonna start this again. Boneless wings, baby. Don't talk to me about drums or flats. Boneless wings.
You're a child. And not like a normal one. You're one who says orange marmalade slaps, cheesecake is bad. I don't understand you.
You're the one that pees them. You're the one that pees himself in class.
You are the kid who pees himself in class.
Don't put that on me. I'm 3 for 3 tonight. I'm like
for what?
I'm like Luke's sweater. You all think I'm one thing, and that is wrong. But I'm really
Luke is the physical blue.
So we all think
Luke
you're
is
colorful.
the dress, the blue and white dress or whatever. That's what Luke is today.
I'm not. I'm literally blue.
But you're gray. So like.
Yeah, you all think I'm wrong, but in reality, I'm right. You just can't see it yet. It's not close enough in front of your face.
We are gonna move on.
Zadarius
you
Smith,
have such bad takes.
Zadarius Smith, I hate him.
Me too.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
Also, that's all they asked everybody today in their interview.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they asked.
Zadarius Smith is like that guy who says I'm a super nice guy, gets turned down, and then starts throwing expletives at whoever turned him down. Like he's just a scornful little bitch. Like he's still like 13 with those cryptic tweets. Like, what are we doing, man? Grow up.
Yep. It's no different than Greg Jennings.
Ugh, hate Greg Jennings too.
Yep.
At least Greg Jennings is good at football. I'm not sure what Zadarius Smith has.
He's good at having back issues.
Yeah, and he's okay at rushing the passer. Just let's hope the Packers don't run the football at him because he's going to run completely out of the play.
He's good at not playing football.
True, he did that great last year.
Yep.
Copious highlights says the Vikings are better than the Packers. Maybe for week 1. And Randy, because of the chaos, this is the last one we're doing before we give our predictions. We've talked about this, I think, already. At least Luke and I did. Maybe Trevor wasn't on for that, actually. Underrated foods. Janet, do you have a food that you think is underrated?
Underrated. Let me think about it. I'll pass the mic and then it'll come back to me. Let me think about it.
I said cherries.
That's right. I can't remember what I said.
I'm going to go French toast. I feel like it should be like everybody talks about pancakes or waffles and then just throws French toast to the side. I'm not going to say French toast is better than all of them, but I feel like it should be in the debate a little more. You know, it should be given a little more respect.
Disagree. I think it's far too much respect.
Underrated foods.
All French toast is just bread formed eggs.
So I have a seasonal candy, and whenever I speak about this candy, nobody else knows what I'm talking about.
Peeps.
No. Oh. They're called Mary Janes, and you eat them on Halloween. They are wrapped in that black, white, or orange wrapper. And they have on the inside, peanut butter. Those are so good. And everybody's like, that's like candy corn. And I'm like, no, it's not. It has peanut butter on the inside and caramel.
Well, that is old people candy. So no.
Coming from orange marmalade.
Yeah, no shit. Everyone loves peanut butter. Do you dislike peanut butter?
No, peanut butter's good. Peanut butter's solid. Doesn't go on burgers, but it's solid.
It does. It's so
I would venture to say peanut butter is underrated. I think that argument could be made. I'm not going to make it, but that argument could be made.
It could. A lot of people are also allergic to nuts, Luke.
Yeah.
That's natural selection taking place, I think. Get them out.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Mm-hmm. Pineapple does not belong anywhere, Randy, so especially not on pizza.
Oh, I like pineapple on pizza.
Me too. God. This is why we're split this way.
Cut
Fist bump. Luke.
Go under predictions, though. I could just that was horrifyingly hard to see. Speaking of horrifyingly hard to see, I just don't I don't think I don't think there's any scenario where the Packers get killed here. I think we're all on the same page there. I don't think there's really any scenario that I can really even see the Packers killing the Vikings. It's probably going to be one of those good old 1, maybe 2 possession games throughout. I don't think any team really pulls away. I'm going Vikings 30-21. I think they just score a touchdown late. That's the only reason. I just think that running attack, their wide receiver play, it's just too good. And I don't know if the slow start that I think will happen for the Packers, I don't know if they can rebound. So I'd go 30-21 Vikings.
25 of the past 39 regular season games between these two have been decided by 7 points or less, apparently. According to the dope sheet. That's pretty dope. My prediction is, obviously, again, the Packers are favored by 1.5, 47.5 point total projected. I'm going to go Vikings win 27-23. I think there's going to be a few costly turnovers. Packers probably drop pass interception, maybe a fumble. I think the Vikings are going to turn the ball over a little bit. I think the defense for the Packers is going to look pretty good overall. I think everyone's going to be talking about how, the Packers finally got a defense, and now Aaron Rodgers can't pull his weight. Now it's the offense's issue. Now it's this and this and this. Maybe we have some special teams issues. Maybe that starts so we can get Packers Twitter all riled up right away. But, yeah, I think the Vikings edge it out. And Randy wants to know how many touchdowns does Rodgers throw. I'll go with 2.
I'll go with 0.
Whoa. Janet, what's your prediction for that? And then what's your score prediction?
I'm going to agree with you, but not on the score. I think it's going to be super duper close. I think it's going to be 23-21. It's going to come down to the last, always, the last 2 minutes. And we're all going to panic and get anxiety about it, always.
You think the Packers win 23-21?
No, I think Vikings do.
Okay.
I think it's a clean sweep. I'm taking the Vikings in this game. 21-17. No, 17-14. 17-14. I think the Vikings do some bullshit at the end where they kneel with 3 minutes left because the Packers are out of timeouts and just let the clock run and only go for 4 yards just to get in field goal range to win on a last-second field goal.
I think it's super interesting that the Packers are still favored.
Yeah.
On the road, despite the injury. So since it's on the road, the sports books essentially think the Packers are like 3 or 4 point favorites in terms of a better team, which again, I fully disagree. It's strange. I don't know.
I also don't think that the Vikings are a bad team.
No.
Well, Zach, you listed off, there's not a lot of depth at corner. Their offense is awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone, like you said, everyone talking about, the Packers defense, like we finally got a defense. I mean, here's the test if we finally have a defense. I know it's only 1 week in, but I think week 1 we'll know what this Packers defense is.
One, we talked about it a lot last year. The Vikings were made to beat the Packers. Like, that's how their team is built. And so if anybody's going to do it with that squad, it's going to be them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I assume there's going to be a lot of blitzes thrown the Vikings' way. Looking at the offensive line, it looks like they're going to have rookie Ed Ingram start at right guard. He's not very good at football. Their right tackle is Brian O'Neill. He's not that great at football. So I'm surprised because I've heard a lot of like Vikings analysts and stuff talking about how good their offensive line is. So I believe Rashawn Gary is going to be on that side and just sort of probably run himself out of the play. But I think that entire side of the offensive line should be able to get completely blown up, especially like if Jaron Reed is on the same side as him. They're just going to destroy that. So I think Joe Barry's defense is going to look super fast. I think they're going to play super reckless. I think they're going to cause a lot of issues. And I think they're going to give up a lot of big plays. And it's going to be the Joe Barry way. We saw him do it in Detroit. We saw him do it in Washington. Now it's the time where Joe Barry finally shines and has like the 27th ranked defense, but number 1 in turnovers, basically. It's going to be fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to talk about? Do we want to discuss Randy's question about the ultimate dinner?
I will say before we go off topic again, just talking with the Packers, I think that the touchdowns come from, I think each running back gets 1 each today or tomorrow or Sunday. I think it's just kind of a feel it out. We have a new team. We don't have Devontae here anymore. We're finally going against a team. Kind of a feel it out, run the ball a little bit, and get back into the groove of things.
Honestly, as long as it's not a replay of the Saints game last year,
yeah,
I'm fine with it.
Honestly, I kind of appreciated that because I was able to rant. So that was kind of a 1-1 for me.
That Saints game last year. People forget how big of a disaster that was.
It was horrible.
Like from the end of the first drive, did we all not think they were going to get crushed that game? Like the writing was on the wall immediately.
I've watched football for a long time, and that was maybe one of the worst games I've ever watched.
I've ever seen. It was so depressing.
Yeah, it was bad.
It looks like we all got flashbacks. I'm sorry, guys.
It was not. Yeah, thank you for that.
Stared.
Ultimate dinner.
That's so subjective. That's tough.
Yeah, of course. All these food questions are subjective, Trevor.
No,
except for the cheesecake one.
But it's like so open-ended.
No.
There's so many.
I'll put parameters on it.
Are we having one main, one side
I'll
dish?
put a parameter on it. I'll put a parameter.
Okay, go.
Yeah,
okay.
You get an entree, a side dish, a vegetable/fruit, a dessert, and a drink.
That's too much to remember.
What do you mean? That's what a dinner is.
What do you mean?
Why'd you say fruit/vegetable? Why didn't you say dessert?
That's what I eat at dinner.
Do you also eat it in those little toddler container things that like split up your food?
Well, sometimes if I need to pick it up from Quick Trip.
True.
If I'm running late.
True. For some reason, my mind can't even comprehend this question. Like I'm so in football mode.
The correct answer is it's ham, cheese, potatoes.
So like a Thanksgiving dinner.
What partners with that? Green beans.
Thanksgiving.
A piece of pumpkin pie.
Thanksgiving.
And
yeah, you're going to holiday food right now. You started with the Easter.
2 months in the future.
And you know what goes good with ham is This is not my choice, but orange soda goes good with ham. But
I
would probably go for a glass of ice water for my drink.
With some ice water.
That got so bad.
What kind of ice? Pebble ice? Cubed ice?
Whatever the hospital
Shaved
ice is. Hospitals have the best ice.
What the fuck?
I'm serious.
So you're planning to have Thanksgiving at a hospital? That's your
ultimate
love dinner.
And then I want to dump gravy over everything.
Thanksgiving is my answer. Do you have gravy? Last time we talked about food, you said you don't have access to as much gravy as you would like.
Yeah, the only access I have is Thanksgiving. But if we're making I get anything I want, gravy is definitely in that equation.
Luke, on the day after Thanksgiving, my mom gets all the leftovers and puts it in one big sandwich.
Incredible.
That is good.
Incredible.
I don't even know what mine would be.
I don't even know where to go from there.
I know.
No.
I gave the correct answer.
I don't think that's what it was.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know about
Although, if we're talking Thanksgiving, I don't like turkey.
Me neither. I was just going to ask you that.
It's dry.
It at all.
It's always dry.
How are you guys making it if it's dry every time?
It's always
they don't make
dry.
it. Make ham.
Well, I was gonna say compared to the ham, it's always really dry.
Actually, you know what we had on Thanksgiving last year was ravioli and Italian sausage, and that was incredible. That would be my answer. I change it to ravioli and Italian sausage.
What kind of drink, Luke? What drink goes with that?
Is it hospital ice or is it different ice this time?
I'm not a wine guy, but red wine I heard goes good with Italian food.
He went from iced water to red wine.
So your preferred drink is something you haven't even had before?
No, I'm not saying that's what I would choose. I'm just saying that's what I heard would be good with it.
What kind of ice are you having in your wine, Luke?
No ice in wine.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you don't put ice.
I would
usually serve it hot.
I would have a beer with ravioli and Italian sausage.
Does that mark every box? What's your fruit/vegetable, Luke?
The Italians don't eat fruits or vegetables. Come on, Zach.
Look, he put parameters.
Parameters.
It's your birthday. It's
probably
your
green
birthday.
beans.
Right.
Green
Somehow
beans.
we've gone off the rails on the off the rails segment. It
would be green beans.
He said it's your birthday. What is your dinner? All right.
Italian sausage, ravioli, green beans, and a beer.
He changed
Zach,
it.
do you want to just take us home?
All right, sorry.
I can't. For whatever reason, I'm so in sports mode that I can't even soak this in.
So every year for my birthday, I prove that I'm still a young youthful woman, and I eat a whole large pizza by myself. So that is my birthday dinner.
From where?
From Home Slice. It's a place in San Antonio.
Okay, what's on your pizza?
It's a margarita pizza.
Oh.
Solid. Really, Luke?
Ruining the pizza.
You have Italy tattooed on you. Do you think a margarita pizza is bad?
Yeah, American version of pizza is much better than Italian version of pizza.
I am Italian, Luke. I'm 30%.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave it at that then. This was Lombardi Sweep. Bye. I can't do it. Goodbye.
Bye. Jesus.